Okay, so I'm standing here with my life-size Michael Myers, and you might notice that he looks a little bit different. It's because I decided to get a professionally made Halloween 2 Michael Myers mask. And I lucked out and found a really cheap priced one painted by Freddie Loper, which was unbelievable how cheap the mask was. But I originally had it stretched for a H2 look. But I started looking at the coveralls and decided I wasn't very happy with them. So I took them off and found a vintage pair online of the Big Mac coveralls in the correct size, which are exactly what I needed. So I made him into an H1 and decided instead of the Warlock stretch, I'll give him the Castle stretch. So the mouth is slightly open and the eyes are a little more forward in the mask. So he does kind of look a little strange and in somewhat brighter lighting, but still it's pretty cool. So anyway, yeah, these are the vintage uh, green Big Mac coveralls. They have the correct breast pocket, and instead of the snap buttons on the wrist, these have the Big Mac button again. I left them open on this one because that's how Nick Castle wore the coveralls in Halloween 1. He had the wrists open. Dick Warlock had on his costume, he had the wrists shut, and sometimes he also was seen with the top button buttoned up as well, but most of the time he can also be seen kind of like that. He's not 100% accurate though, because he is still wearing the Halloween 2 Red Wing Lager boots. It's mostly just because this is only a temporary look, so I'm not too concerned about putting the correct boots on him, because vintage Vietnam jungle boots, for some reason, they don't run very expensive. And if you don't really feel like shelling out a little extra for a vintage pair, you can just buy the pairs online that they sell on Amazon for like $30 and just weather them yourself in like 5 minutes. So that's not something I'm gonna micro obsess over. But I also redid his left hand so it's a little cleaner, just has a little bit of dirt, and I spilled some green paint on it. I don't know what that could be, who knows. But also I redid his right hand, so instead of being open, it can now grip onto a knife or the scalpel in the H2 Myers case, which is what I plan to put him back as soon. But all I did was just take a wire coat hanger and just bend it into the shape of the fingers, and then open the inside of the hand and slip it inside the slots in the fingers. Heat the boiled hand until it got soft enough, and then just really bent and squeezed with every bit of strength to get it into that shape so it would stay until the plastic cooled down enough to fully hold the shape. So now he can hold a butcher's knife or a chef's knife or the scalpel. He doesn't have a screen accurate chef's knife because I don't own a vintage 78 Lamson knife or the Case 10212 knife, so it's not something I'll micro obsess over either because it's temporary. But anyway, I wanted to talk about the mask a little bit. As you can see, really good paint job by Freddie Loper. I've been an admirer of his work for quite a while, but never really could afford any of his work. The mask, for being a H1, is actually really good, even though it does still show H2 in it, meaning that the hair is a bit lighter. It's not as dark as it was when it was spray painted black in Halloween 1. The little brow mark is not as prominent, but you can see it. And it's also missing the knitting needle hole inside of the neck with the little black ring from the bicycle patch inside the mask. But other than that, it's still a really good mask. I really love this mask. I love my Trick or Treat Studios mask too, but this one obviously blows it out of the water because it was done by a professional instead of someone who barely knows what they're doing with paint. But I just wanted to make a little video showing what he looks like right now. Still pretty creepy because he is roughly around Nick Castle's height. He's about an inch and a half shorter, but it's not really a big deal. He's still pretty close. But anyway, I just wanted to show that really quick. So thanks for watching.